Expert child sex abuse victims also suffer long-term damaging effects. 11 News reporter Sheldon Dutez joins us live from the newsroom now. He has more on this story for us. Sheldon?
Well, Rod, the lingering effects of sexual abuse can manifest themselves in destructive behaviors as adults. And even if a victim is in their teens, experts say it's still concerning because their brains are still developing. As the investigation continues into the alleged sexual relationship between several Glen Burnie High School students and former teacher Jeffrey Sears, child sex abuse experts warn that cases like this one could create emotional stress for victims.
Well, there's of course going to be shame. It's going to possibly be guilt because I'm not sure what the relationship was with her peers as well as with the teachers. So there's going to be guilt whether, it was her that exposed the relationship or someone else.
Ruby Nelson is a clinical social worker and says there are also damaging long-term effects of abusive relationships like the one at Glen Burnie High School.
When you put yourself in the hands of a teacher in a school relationship, you don't always want to see that as someone being nice to you for sexual gratification. So there's always going to be an issue of trust, and being able to trust other adults that this is not what they're going for.
Nelson says victims of sexual abuse are also more likely to face depression, early pregnancy, or sexually transmitted diseases. Now, the three victims at Glen Burnie High School are 15 and 16 years old. Adam Rosenberg is the executive director of the Baltimore Child Abuse Center and says if victims are teenagers, it's still alarming because their brains are still developing.
And that's why we categorize them as children, is they're still, the synapses in their brain are still creating, and they're still learning to form the right decisions that will affect them later in life.
Regardless of a child's age, child sex abuse experts say the road to healing is possible through professional therapy and counseling. Now, with respect to the Glen Burnie case, police say there might still be more students involved. Anyone with information is urged to call detectives at 410-222-3482. Live in the 11 newsroom, Sheldon Dutez, WBAL TV.